SLAM-A-THON 3 is on the air. 786-828-7068. I forgot how to position this thing. It's been 2 weeks since I've been on the air. Did I go on Monday, Frank?
No, we haven't been on. It's been 2 weeks.
Pasquale's already fumbling through the new arms. That's okay. So do I. Look at that geeky smile Miss Milian has. Guys, we're going to do this for the next 1,440 minutes, give or take a few. The whole idea is to bring awareness to those who listen on Sirius XM to this little old radio station on the dial that's 145. Tuesday, we celebrated our 7th birthday. It seems like 70 years sometimes. But I can honestly tell you that when you talk about those 7 years and the 2.5 years of prep prior between meeting the team, giving some time to the team, then being hired by the team, and then, well, a year later, more or less, opening this baby up with the team. Actually, it's more than a year, so a year and a half. Pasquale's loving it. We opened this baby up December 3rd, 2018. Lot has changed since that day. The students have changed. But the purpose is the same. And what we try to do with our students is, well, enlighten them. Let them see that the world is not cubbyholed. It's not through the eyes of a phone, but through the eyes of the beholder. And many lives have been changed in these 2,800 square feet. Primarily mine. So, it's hard to.
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you sending it. I was say it's going to be hard to put this on silent because I need to know what's going on. So, forgive me if this thing goes off during the next 1,433 minutes. It's going to be an eternity. We've changed a lot of lives right here. Now, have we made a lot of broadcasters? It's interesting because we've made a few, but the impact of this space isn't about broadcasting per se. I'll never forget when Armando, aka Pitbull, came through here and came with Hope Martinez. It was a few years ago. I don't know why I even think Pasquale might have been in the room that day. And he points out to us, to a scene that you can't see in the dark behind me right now. Says, Hope, look, the old neighborhood. Who did they get from here? We're going to build a school here and teach them how to speak from here. And it moved me because I understood that this was always Pitt's vision to do this. And thanks to our partners at SiriusXM and Pandora for making this a reality. I think the only other person that had the vision of this wasn't going to be a broadcast school, this was going to be a change life school, was Pitt. Because that's what it emulated what SLAM as a school, it's a network of schools, was going to be. Toughest job I've ever had is the one that I have right now. But it's also the most fulfilling job I've ever had. And one of the first things I got to do, Frank, even before you came to work here, is I'll never forget Mercedes Abascal calls me to her office. I had been maybe a couple of months here. Maybe. And she goes, I have someone I want you to meet.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. And she said, this is like a little you. And I see that you guys are going to have an amazing synergy. And I think that you can help him learn the ropes. I go, learn the ropes. I'm learning the ropes right now. How can the blind teach somebody else? But she insisted that I meet Pasquale. And within a few weeks, Pasquale took over my classes.
I think it was a few minutes.
Well, it seemed like a few minutes, right? But it wasn't very fast. It wasn't very long, Frank. It also was maybe more like 3 or 4 months in, now that I think about it. Because we switched up the semester and you took over those classes. But what forged was a friendship between you and I that's been solid. And more importantly, you went, it's my department head. You're an athletic director now. You've done so many things here at SLAM. But you have been in this building yourself and Patty Telechea are the two biggest proponents and the two biggest advocates of this space and what happens in this space. So I think it's fitting that we open up SLAM-A-THON 3 and you're here. And you said you're going to be here. I was just laughing. I go, watch him show up. You came the first year. I remember at some point you came last year, but you were busy with something last year. You had something going on last year that kept you away a little more than normal.
MJ was born a couple months prior.
And I think that was what was going on. I don't want to really say that, but I knew that was what was going on. But having you here today is pretty darn cool. This place looks so different, man. I mean, shout out to.
I literally just like look and I was like, oh, that. And then I'm like, oh my God, those pictures. And I'm like, I feel like I haven't been here all year.
It's a little different. And shout out to the SLAM Foundation for getting us a new step and repeat, which will be showcased throughout the day in pictures. Shout out to Align Designs for the sign in front of the studio door as well as the one in the studio, which, by the way, that handwriting looks very familiar to me, Miss Milian. Good morning, I guess. Amanda, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
That is your handwriting.
Yep.
It's beautiful because it came from Amaya's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And we had decided which one of the two handwritings to use. I think even Amaya said, no, let's use Amanda's. And I think it's legacy driven because you were the first student general manager in this space. And when this was real chaos, you were the person in charge of dealing with that chaos. And there's so much calm to your handwriting and to that message. That's a Pitbull message that I was really moved when I walked in and I saw that. It's really cool. Pasquale, man, thanks for being here today, dude. Like, you've seen kind of everything. You saw when they caved in the ceiling before we even opened up this place. You've seen so much happen here. It's just pretty amazing, man. Just talk a little bit, man. Like, we got 6 hours to fill. I'm going to DJ at 3 o'clock.
I am great.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Someone told me I should DJ at 2 a.m. because when people leave the clubs here in Miami on a Thursday,
Right.
Friday night, whatever.
It's like a 7 a.m. now.
I was like, this is Miami. They leave at all hours.
Yeah, there is no time that
This
people
isn't
leave.
Boise, Idaho. Last call. This is Miami. What are you talking about? Plus, it's kind of a national radio station. So whether I play at 2 or 3 in the morning, it's midnight somewhere, meaning California. And we're just going to have a nice, fun mix at 3 o'clock in the morning. It may or may not be PG-13 because it is late hours and there are no kids here. So we might let a few things rip. Nobody gets mad at me. I was told by Sirius I actually have permission. We never do, though. We really never do.
No.
But I'm going to have a wild mix of a couple of things float through. Oops, I didn't hear him. Yeah, Pasquale, it's kind of cool having you here today and seeing everything. Frank, you did a great job with the last touches. I know we had some visions. We collaborated the whole chair thing over there. Like, this was all a Frank movement as well. I put Frank in charge, like facilities manager kind of, and I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks really good. I guess you like my little pop.
Dude, I get to hang out with 2 Larrys.
Funko
right now,
Pop.
like a mini Larry, and then I realized
You had never noticed that was made for me a few years ago.
no.
That's pretty funny,
This
actually.
thing. This is pretty sweet.
This is pretty funny.
And I feel like you wear that button down pretty often.
Let me see. Yeah, I usually.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I feel
something that's
'Cause it's-
kind of a thing. I mean, I liked how they picked it. I like the whole sneaker thing. Meaning, kind of showing that I'm in trend. The beard is pretty tapered. I don't wear black rims anymore, but I think at the time I was wearing black rims, so it's good. It's good. Frank, I'm gonna do it now just to get it out of the way, right before we go to break. So I took a nap, Pasquale, and you've been in athletics for a long time. You know the impact your coaches have on your life. It's pretty strong. Everybody has a coach that meant the world to them. So my coach was Coach Steve Hertz. What's funny is I never played one inning of baseball for him. I should have. I was good enough to, but I never told him I played baseball. Instead, I served another capacity for him. I was like a team manager. I assisted him, statistics, metrics, numbers, which helped us win a boatload of games. And it was only at the very end of my tenure at the school that he learned that I actually knew how to play baseball. And he got mad at me, and the following semester asked me to try out for the team, and I did. And basically was making the fall squad, and I looked, and I had a situation in my life, and I had to make a tough decision, and I looked at him and said, I'm done. I can't do this. He was always very annoyed with me because I told him I couldn't hit the curve, and I wasn't a good hitter. He goes, I make everybody a good hitter, which he did. He used the power of positive mental attitude and visualization as a key. He would put us in a dark room and we'd visualize the positive things we were going to do. So a lot of this W stuff, all of that, I get that from him. He passed away this morning.
R.I.P.
So Steve Hertz is somebody to me. When I learned the news after I woke up from I guess that's called sleep. It's a SLAM-A-THON. Once a year, I sleep for a few hours until like 9:30 at night, and then I get ready to come here. I'm not sure I would have cried this much learning of my father's death, believe it or not. The direct impact that Steve Hertz had on my life is something that is kind of bleeding out here. So it's like the ironies of life. Obviously, Steve Hertz didn't choose to pass away today, but the irony that today is a showcase of a lot of the things that I've implemented through Steve. I'm going to dedicate this show today in memory of Coach Steve Hertz. Coach Hertz coached at Miami-Dade campus, at Wolfson campus, at South campus. He played baseball in Houston, major leagues, Houston Colt 45s back then. He also coached my alma mater, Coral Park, to a state championship in the 70s. I think it was 78. I am a Titan now, but shout out to my Coral Park Rams for my guy, Coach Steve Hertz. So it was a tough evening. Frank, thanks for holding up the fort for me, man. I should have been here a little earlier, but like I said, I had to get that out of the way at home, and I had to get this out of the way because I am absolutely dedicating everything today, everything these kids do today, I'm dedicating it to Steve Hertz's honor. And I hope we could put something on social media about that. He's absolutely been a direct light to me. And anybody who's played baseball in South Florida knows exactly who Coach is. He was part of the Miami High Athletic Association. So all those folks from Miami had tunas, friends with him. We're going to miss you, Coach. You were a guiding light to many of us. And you never die to me, bro, because your memory and everything that you taught me lives on through me, and it'll live on through so many generations, through other people that I can hopefully enlighten half as much as you did for me. I love you, Coach. I will miss you. I'm sorry I didn't get to say goodbye. But I dedicate today to you. Can we go to break? We'll be back on the other side. By the way, folks, 24 hours raising money for Slam Radio. SLAM-A-THON 3 is a brainchild of mine. A joke I told admin was that I was going to lock myself in here and they were going to have to get me out of here and arrest me. So we actually formalized it so I wouldn't lose my job. And instead, we've done this crazy idea of doing 24 hours of radio. And idea is slamradio.org is where we want you to go. I don't usually ask anybody for anything. Today, I ask you to take a peek at what we do throughout the day. Don't make your buying decision now. I want you to wait throughout the day and listen in from time to time and listen to our students. Listen to how prepared they are, how dedicated they are to the craft. And it shows that if nothing else, kids want to be a part of something important. And this is about the most important project any high school has seen anywhere in the country at any time recently. We are the only live satellite radio station inside of a high school, not just in this country, but anywhere in the world. And that's a great honor to have that, to be a network of schools that get to feed into this radio station and be a part, not just of this great event, but 365 days of broadcasting is absolutely amazing. Please check us out today. Listen in today. In fact, don't hit slamradio.org. Don't do that right now. Wait and see, okay? Now, at the top of the screen, Frank, you're saying if you're streaming online, there's a stream QR code.
Top left corner of your screen, you're going to see a QR code. You scan it. It'll take you right to where you got to go to donate.
That'll be up all 24 hours today. I have a feeling Pasquale's waiting to give me a hug. I'll be good, bro. I'll be good, man. But that was my guy, bro. I probably won't talk about him again the rest of the day. I just wanted to get it out of the way. But that's my guy. And not only I dedicate all of this to him. He was a guiding light to me, continues to be, even as he's passed on. Yeah, man, that's just incredible to me that today's the day he passed away. Well, anyway, we'll be back on the other side. Frank, we got so much to get to. I'm going to mix at 3 a.m, right? Liven up the mood here a little bit. When's Anthony making it through?
He's outside, actually. So it's either I, Amanda, or Pasquale have to go rescue him.
All right. Well, let me get my Pasquale hug on the break, and then he can go get him back with SLAM-A-THON 3 on Sirius XM 145 Slam Radio. back. SLAM-A-THON 3, raising money for our proud students, our proud student broadcasters here at Slam Radio, not just here in Miami. Shout out to Slam Boca. Shout out to Slam Palm Beach, Slam North, the schools participating today. Inclusion in 2026 to Slam Apollo and other entities, including one of our slams in Texas. We are excited. The growth of this program, the idea is get kids away from brain rot, get kids paying attention to their verbal skills, and get kids like good old Anthony Milian. I'm going to make fun of you right now, Anthony, a little bit. Remember when he was scared of his own shadow, Amanda?
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Personality, Frankie. He was scared of his own shadow. All right, baby.
That's funny, baby.
Third base. You know, I've always taught that the broadcast table kind of like a blackjack table. I've never said that to the kids. You know that, right? I call this first base, I call this third base. And if you've ever played blackjack, they refer to those sides as that. And when you play blackjack, third base is the most important. You have to play by the book, or you can ruin it for everybody else.
I hate playing blackjack.
I love blackjack, actually. I stay away from blackjack. I usually do well, except the last time I played.
I used to do a lot of blackjack until Rocket and I went to Vegas one time, and he's like, "Yo, you're gonna run out of money fast. You got to play Pai Gow," and that's how I got into Pai Gow.
So I always do well, and the last time I did it a few months ago, first time ever in Florida, second time in Florida, I actually did something like that, and it didn't work out so well. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stay away for a while.
No, I had a really bad beat because of third base. At the Hard Rock here, like a few years ago. That was the last time I ever sat at a blackjack table.
Yeah, Hard Rock. I don't know what. I'm not gonna say anything, but I have a hard time at the Hard Rock. That's all I'll say. It's not player friendly for me. Anyway, we'll leave it at that because that's not what we're here today for. We're not trying to gamble. We're trying to earn or
If you're
make
at a
money.
blackjack table, maybe split half of your earnings, donate half of it to Slam Radio.
Look at you,
I don't
Mr.
know.
The guy
The
comes out
CEO of
right away.
the CEO of Sirius XM and Art Basel director himself. Like what else are you doing in life?
Golf?
No, he doesn't play
There's a
golf.
huge
anymore.
question mark there.
Yeah, thank God for the cars that drive by.
I attempt to play golf. I'm still not very good.
No, his newest venture is he's now a flag football extraordinaire player. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm the number one wide receiver cornerback recruit out of Hialeah. I'm not sure if you know.
Yeah, that's
have
not.
eligibility.
He plays with his
I thought
friends.
your little cousin was that.
Yeah, that's what actually. Yeah, my godson definitely is the number one recruit out of maybe not out of Hialeah, but out of Pembroke Pines. Anthony, thanks for joining us. I don't know if you know you're driving the show at some point. I think next hour.
I'm
actually.
ready for it.
You can drive the show next hour. You really think so?
That's why we're here today.
That's why we're here today.
I must say, I love the Russell Wilson jersey.
You mean the one? You mean the one you gave me?
The one I gave you.
But
Yes.
it's 3 for SLAM-A-THON 3. That's the whole purpose.
I was a
behind
little
that.
confused walking in and watching
the
on the
same
screen,
I did the same thing.
seeing you in a Broncos Russell Wilson jersey. I was like, okay, I mean, bold choice, but whatever
But-
works. But
but
I like the 3.
The
It
3
works.
is the 3.
Yeah, it works.
I believe last year at some point I wore Jeter for 2, and it happened.
I got him that too.
Yeah, I know. I really like.
He likes
I
it.
saw from
He
afar,
thinks it's fantastic.
and
You
I've
might
been
take it home with
hanging
him
out
if you're not careful.
Honestly, he might be on my dash tonight. I don't know.
Kind of funny. I can't help but do this, Frank. It only took 28 minutes, but bleep you NCAA and bleep you college football playoff system, which I told you characters they were messing up when they went to 12 teams. I told you they screwed it up last year when they did the first round games and they gave the buys where 5 played 12. I told you that it was flawed. I told you it was garbage. I told you there was 4 too many teams, and now we're arguing about 2 and 3 lost teams getting in. And I am not a fan of that mindset. However, be that as it may, the Miami Hurricanes are about to get screwed.
Maybe not.
You don't want 24 teams?
Oh wow. Okay.
No, you know
I
what I
saw something
want?
for that
I want literally, I liked the 4-team format.
Oh man, I love the 14 format. And if you
Hated the
didn't make it
14
in, sorry.
Didn't
tough
make it in,
cookies,
tough
baby.
cookies, cry. Go cry home, FSU. But if you really need to make it something more expansive, then you make it 8 teams. Oh, well, then it would make this decision harder. Not really. Because then Notre Dame wouldn't be in, Oklahoma wouldn't be in, Miami wouldn't be in, Alabama wouldn't be in. It would be pretty much cut and dry.
Look, there's no perfect format because even in a professional landscape of the playoffs, someone's still butthurt because they didn't make it in.
But Frank, if it were 8, 9 couldn't get mad. 9 is who?
And I've always said
Who's
that.
9?
Alabama.
Bama's 9 now.
I
Bama.
think it's Alabama.
Bama couldn't look and get pissed like they did last year. They
No,
were
it's
out.
actually it's Notre Dame. Notre Dame's 9.
No.
Oh,
Notre
they're
Dame-
10 now. They're 10
No,
now.
Notre Dame went down to 10.
It goes 9
So it's
Alabama,
9
10
Alabama.
Notre Dame, 11
11
BYU, 12 UM.
You're right. Yeah, because Oklahoma's 8. You're right.
So it's crazy to me to think that. But yeah, like those teams don't deserve to be.
I
in.
just my thing is, obviously, whenever you have a committee involved, it's going to be subjective. So someone's going to complain. It's not like the NFL where there's tiebreakers in place and there's no subject nature to the NFL playoffs. If you either make it or don't. In college football, it's a lot more. You have the eye test. You have a lot more variables and factors into it. So someone's always going to complain, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 12 teams. I do feel like as if you're not one of the best 12 teams in the sport, you shouldn't really be complaining. I understand the point of automatic qualifiers. I understand the point of the group of five automatic qualifier, and that's great. It gives smaller teams a chance.
I don't agree.
But I mean,
I don't agree.
man, it's just this is a situation now where, again, it's like you said, everybody's going to complain. If Miami doesn't make it, they'll complain. Vanderbilt, they'll complain. Texas, they'll complain. And they all have reasonable arguments. But
No,
Texas have 3
I don't
losses.
think they have reasonable arguments. 1, 2. The 8th ranked team is Oklahoma, who has they would be the only 2-loss team in the mix.
Yeah.
So 8 would be an issue because you'd be overlooking an 11-1 BYU team.
Yeah.
Especially if BYU wins on Saturday, right? Then how would you look at BYU and tell them at 11-1 or 12-1 that they couldn't get into an 8-team playoff when they're the only other team with 1 loss? This would be cut and dry. This would be easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's no way you would convince me otherwise. You would have the 8 teams completely drawn out. BYU wins the Big 12 as the 11th ranked team, they would jump to 8 because they have 1 loss and they won their conference championship. You would have your 8 teams.
I
It'd
hate
be
the
Ohio
conference
State. I can't
champion.
stand. I mean, whatever.
I don't like the conference championship.
I don't mind them because it brings a weird element to it. What I don't like is that everyone's not subjected to a conference championship.
Correct. Like,
So
like Notre Dame.
So I
Notre
also
Dame.
think Notre Dame and Miami should be clipped for not being in a conference championship. BYU is in a conference championship, and if they win, they should jump everybody.
Fan is this guy. This
They
guy
should.
just-
I would, but it's Frank.
It's about being a fan of the system.
It's
It's,
that
not
the
about
system's
being like
messed
that, right?
up. Like
No, but
BYU would
listen,
be
the
12-1.
whole entire NCAA is a scam. It's a joke. Like,
I don't disagree with you. Like,
look at I'm going to go ahead and throw up a diabolical something in the fire right now. Let's look at Ole Miss.
Mhm.
okay,
And I've made some fun takes on Instagram
Yeah.
shooting at Ole Miss because they no longer have their head coach.
They
So
don't?
I made a bold hot take. And
Please don't tell me it's the same one Larry Cole's given us for the last
I
week in
just-
my house.
I just said hot take, right? You take the NCAA has to have the transfer portal during the college playoff open up. You have the high school signees happening, right? So then Lane Kiffin's like, if I'm gonna leave, I gotta leave now. They're not gonna let me coach anyways because I gotta be able to get my transfers, get my guys.
Yeah.
LSU's not in it, and then Ole Miss now loses their head coach.
Mhm.
Are they then qualified enough,
This is
regardless of
exactly-
11-1
This is
record?
incredible. If Larry Cole's listening, he's going to be jumping up and down to hear
I'm
this.
just listen. I want to be that guy that just throw it out there.
This is what I've been arguing with Larry Cole all week. And I said to him, he says, the moment Ole Miss decided that Lane Kiffin couldn't coach, they should be outed from this because they don't have the same parameters. In fact, there's a bylaw in their things that they could sit on that and say, listen, you lost your head coach.
But how do you punish the team for
You
that?
shouldn't.
So that you
That's
should.
why I'm saying this because I don't believe it, but I also just want to say it.
But my friend Larry Cole does believe it. He does think it. He thinks that Ole Miss screwed the kids out of it, and he
Guys,
doesn't care.
We have to realize right now, last week when he was the coach, they were the 7th seed.
Yeah.
Guess where they jumped when he got fired or when he left? Sorry.
Well, no, they were the 3 seed, is what you said.
no. They were never the 3
No,
seed.
they're never the 3 seed.
They jumped to 6. Who does 6 have to play, Mr. Milian?
11.
11.
Who would be the 11 seed? Either Tulane or BYU if they
BYU.
would win. So what does that mean? That means Ole Miss would probably have an easy win right in. So the NCAA has to fix themselves That's why I don't
They are
get why,
rig- they're rigging these rankings,
right. That's
so
what
they
I'm
can set up.
saying.
Yeah,
Like that's for me. That's where it's getting skewed, right? Because Ole Miss
That's
was
very
7.
valid.
Look who they would have played. Who would they have played if they were 7?
10.
Notre Dame,
Maybe Notre
UM.
Yeah. I see his
Like,
point.
You
Well,
know,
listen,
they're
they've
not
been
going to
doing
beat
it-
anybody else.
They've been doing it in the rankings. When Notre Dame played Pitt, they moved Pitt up into the 20s of rankings. Notre Dame beat them, shelled them. Right before the Miami game, they moved them up as well.
They
They
beat Georgia
like
Tech.
they do all these. Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, and like this becomes an issue.
It's,
and
it's a clown
it's
show.
kind of a maneuverable thing.
But I have a feeling like they just dropped Notre Dame. Notre Dame just fell a position this past week. I have a feeling that the reason why they dropped them is because they're going to wait to see what happens this week with the other games. And now it's an opportunity because if Alabama loses with 3 losses,
They're
I don't
out.
believe
They're
they're in.
done.
They're out. So
They
either
had-
now you can squeeze Miami in there or drop Notre Dame out and squeeze Miami up. That's the reason why I think
They had to save their nalgas. They
Yeah,
had to
that's
save their
100%. I
nalgas.
think they put it out there as an insurance policy and say, hey, if something happens, now we can play with the system. We already dropped Notre Dame. We can drop them again and put Miami up ahead,
Well, I just-
especially with all the heat that everyone's giving them about how flawed it is if they put Notre Dame in
Yeah,
over
but look at-
Miami.
Why is Alabama jumping anybody after they barely survived Auburn, who's god awful?
Well, I mean,
That's actually a
I
good point.
think
And lost to that god-awful FSU team in the beginning of the year.
I think it's the committee's excuse of trying to protect.
No,
a
they
team
don't.
like
The committee has
Alabama.
no. They don't know what
But
they're doing. They
here's
have no
the
clue
thing,
what
that
they're
is
doing.
clueless, bro.
Here's the thing. With a team like Alabama, and I don't want to sit here and defend them, you can't punish a team for losing their conference championship game. You can't punish a team for making their conference championship game. So, like, let's take BYU.
They
for
need a new head
example.
coach.
I think BYU should be higher than 11. I think they should be higher than Notre Dame. I think they should be higher than Alabama.
Who have they
I-
played?
They've played Texas Tech and they've played Utah. Utah's
They're
their
playing
best
for the
win.
Big 12, man.
They're playing
Like,
for the Big 12, and I understand the Big 12 is not a great conference.
they're playing for the Big
And
12
yes, they got smacked by Texas Tech. They got dominated.
in a higher ranked game
But-
than any ACC championship is going to be this year. So by all means,
At the end of the day, they're an 11
That's
and 1
another
team.
debacle of
that's
Listen,
terrible.
they're an 11 and 1 team. And when you compare the resumes between a team like Notre Dame and a team like BYU, and let's even say Miami. Obviously, I know they're ahead of Miami, but let's just say they're all in the relative same ballpark. Obviously, BYU has more wins. They're an 11-win team. Their only losses to a number 4 ranked Texas Tech team. And really, when you start looking at the wins and really start going band for band on that, Notre Dame and BYU are kind of on the same level as that. Like, they both have a big solid win. Notre Dame beat USC, BYU beat Utah. And again, you could say what you want about all these teams.
USC and Utah suck.
You could say what you want about these teams, but not only are they ranked teams, but
But
they're
this
their
is where
best wins.
this is where 12.
But
It's
this
terrible.
This
Yeah.
is this
No, I
is
like
where
12.
the
I do
committee
like
goes
12.
wrong, though. This is where the committee goes wrong because at the end of the day, and this is what I've been telling you for the past few weeks, if the committee and if these rankings come out at week 7 of the college football season, they should be different rankings in the AP poll. And yes, obviously there's certain differences, but I feel like they base too much off preseason rankings and preseason hype. If it's a completely different,
Where's the
ranking
1 and
system,
2 seed right now? The
They're-
preseason 1 and 2.
they're gone.
I mean,
They're
Texas
gone.
Texas is
But
13. but-
My point is, if you're looking at the CFP rankings, and obviously they've made their excuses for ranking Miami low and ranking Notre Dame here, and I get it, but just take a look at BYU and Notre Dame and tell me why BYU shouldn't be ahead of them. I truly couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. And now this puts BYU in an uncomfortable situation where the committee has said in the past where losing a conference championship game isn't exactly going to penalize you. But in this situation, yeah,
definitely
they
gonna
will.
Alabama.
BYU's in a win and get in, lose and you're out scenario. And unfortunately for the Mormons, they're going to lose that game. They're not going to beat Texas Tech.
Very specific there.
They're not going to beat Texas Tech. But
Okay.
they should be in a situation to where they're not going to completely fall out of the playoffs if that's the case. They're an 11 and 1 team.
I don't think the number of teams. I'm going to disagree with Larry here. I don't think the number of teams matter. I think if you have 4, you have 8, you have 12, you have Frank's 24 in there. I don't necessarily think that matters.
Oh, it definitely matters. It definitely matters because we used to watch a playoff system and there was no playoff system. But at the end of the day, we used to watch a national championship with 1 versus 2 for the most part.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that anymore. And it's muddied down majorly. We used to see people go into or teams go into the championship game with 1 no losses,
Yeah, but
maybe
it's
two,
so hard to pick.
maybe 2 losses, but 3 losses is a joke. You have no chance of competing for any kind of national championship if you're a 3-loss team, unless everybody has 3 losses. But that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Texas is the only 3-loss team in consideration, and they're not going to make it.
Right, but I'm arguing.
If
I'm
they
arguing
lose to
for now. All of a
Georgia,
sudden, if
there's
Alabama
no way.
loses the
But
third
also,
game and they
There's
squeeze
no
them in,
way. There's no way if Alabama loses to Georgia, they're in.
I'm not saying just this year, but we've seen it in other years. How many times have we seen, hey, why would we want a six system team or a 6-system playoff thing if all of a sudden 6 has 2 losses or 3 losses? We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, well,
it's not always perfect.
3 losses has never been one thing considered.
Yeah.
Back in the day, what we used to get pissed off at is once you lost your second game, you shouldn't be playing for a national championship. That's how it was. And there was a year where the Canes lost 2 games and they were the best team in the country. Se la tuvieron que tragar, so they took it out on Texas in the Cotton Bowl and beat them 46-3. That was a 2-loss team that was by far not even close the best team in the country. But the system was what it was, and they could not play for a national championship. A lot of teams much better than 2-loss Notre Dame or 3-loss Alabama or 2-loss Alabama have been screwed over in a quest for a national championship. I don't believe the 12-team system works. I believe if you go to 8, you pretty much lock in. The metrics show you that most years that's around how many 1-loss teams there are.
That's what it should be.
And if you do it correctly and you set it up correctly, you could address the best teams in every conference. And if you want to have a conference championship, that's great. But if the higher ranked team in the conference has 1 loss, then they go. And there's a lot of ways to do this. Our boy Ray Bretto has a system in his head that, while it's a little bit complex, makes more sense than what they're doing today. I don't like the 12-team system. Listen, by the way, teams ranked 9 through 12 have not won a game in the college football playoff. I know we only have a 1-year sample
it's
size.
only been 1 year, but
Right.
I feel like every single format has its problems. So
I
I'll go to you, Frank, to start.
By the way, they won't win this year either, just so you know.
I'll guarantee. I'll make a guarantee right now before you go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you good.
If Notre Dame and Miami make it in, they both win their first game as a
We'll see.
10, 9, 11, whatever seed they are.
We'll see. I don't think so.
I'll put my blackjack number on that one.
I don't think so. I love the Canes. I think the Canes would be a first round out.
I think the Canes are probably a first round.
I think they're a first round out. We
Depends who they
get caught up in the hype here. They're a great team this year, but the matchups that they would have to face would be reprehensible.
Yeah, to say the least.
There's very few matchups that they would do well in, and unfortunately, they're getting scouted. And while they're on a roll right now, I see them as a first round out, especially with some of the teams they have to play.
I think all the systems, like I was saying, I feel like all of them are flawed in their own way. Like, Frank, we'll start with 1 versus 2, and those created great memories, great matchups. Obviously, you go back to a year like 2013 when number 1 versus number 4 Auburn.
No, I'm going way before that because 2013. Now you're flirting with the BCS, and that was a total cluster bleep.
Yeah.
So I'm going way before
By the
that.
way, cluster beep and all, it's still better than this.
It is 100% is.
You know what I liked? I liked when a computer told us, even though it screwed Miami.
Miami got screwed huge because Miami beat Florida State
And
that year, and Florida State got to play for the national championship.
And I still think that algorithm, whatever it was, formula is better than what they're doing today. I can't stand this.
I just think in the current landscape of college football does not allow for you to pick 2 teams and 2 teams only and have them be the 2 teams playing in the
Perhaps you're right, but
There
certainly
needs to be some
12
sort
not
of
So
enough.
much money on the table to do
I know.
2 teams.
By the way, in my mythical situation, it would probably be Oregon that would run rickshaw in Miami. And I don't care about all the love and hate and the rivalry because Mario left there to come here. Oregon would run through us.
Oregon
No
beats Miami by
chance.
24.
Oregon would run.
At Autzen Stadium,
us.
Oregon beats Miami by 24.
That's the other thing is they'd have to go to Oregon to play.
I'm not even from Miami.
Run through them. I love my Kings. I love Mario. They're not quite there. They're almost there, but they're not quite there. If they get out, it'll just make it more fun when they win next year. 786-828-7068. I'm finally starting to sound like a radio host again, Frank.
There you go.
I'm not even as raspy as I've been recently. I don't know. I guess the rest did my voice good. Can you tell, or am I still ugly raspy?
No, I can tell. You can tell.
A little silkier?
Yeah,
Maybe.
say so.
I still have a raspy voice.
That's you, bro.
That's me. SLAMradio.org. That's us. Guys, we've been at this for a while. We've generally never asked you to participate with your kind donations. But the reason we asked today is because Frank, myself, in fact, everybody sitting here can tell you that they've seen firsthand the difference this program has made with some of our young student broadcasters here in Miami. I'm seeing it working in Palm Beach. I'm seeing it happening in Boca. I'm seeing it happening right here to my left as the CEO of SiriusXM got out of work. He's got a tough week this week at Art Basel, but over there at 2340, the studios of SiriusXM, he's one of the main proponents over there. The guy's not even 21 yet. I'm very impressed with the work you do.
Thank you.
I am going to glaze you, but you're going to be hosting an hour. That's how you give back.
Yeah.
Is it ESPN or Sirius XM?
Well, that was funny. You didn't have to do that, but yeah. It's Sirius XM. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah.
You're not going to put a whistle on? We're allowed to
Yeah,
whistle. I mean, that was a whistle-worthy
Give
one.
yourself a whistle, Frank. Oh, that was good.
I have a feeling we'll be hearing a few of those in the next, I don't know, 1,396 minutes, but who's counting, right?
Apparently you are.
He just knows it.
You didn't know, Pasquale, that I'm pretty good at math.
No, he's a human calculator, bro.
It's really scary.
He should have been
No,
an
but I've
accountant.
known that. We've done this, I think, 2 years ago on the air at like
Amigo Rain Man. Yeah, I don't know. Numbers come easy to me, I guess. So does talking crap on a microphone. We'll be back. I need a break. little weekend starboard, right?
Yeah.
Slam Radio's third annual Slam-A-THON. Slam-A-THON 3. We name it like a Super Bowl now.
I love it.
The Weeknd performed in the Super Bowl.
Very underrated performance.
Very underrated performance, but I also think if he'd have done something like what they did for his concert, I don't know how you make that happen in like 14 minutes, but I know the kids later today are going to talk about us. One of the many topics that's going to be broached is the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny, and I have some interesting opinions about Mr. Bad Bunny. They're not going to be very popular.
Uh-oh.
Wow, really? So your tone has changed, huh?
Well, you remember I was very pro Bad Bunny
Yes.
during the Super Bowl
Yes,
because Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth
correct.
of the United States, and it's part of the United States, and I don't like, well, I'm just going to say it. I don't like the racism I see towards Hispanics. And to me, it doesn't exist in this community, which is why, as bad as sometimes we say Miami is, we stay here because we are accepted. This is for us home because nobody looks at us funny like that. And Americans don't look at us funny because they know the culture here in South Florida. Nobody gets in each other's way because of their ethnicity for the most part. But in other parts of the land, for some reason, brown people don't set in well. And I just said it, and I don't care if I'm offending someone. It's the truth. But nonetheless, we mitigate through it through intelligence and through grace. I defended him. And then I saw how anti-American he's been behaving recently. And it makes it tough to defend him on the platform of being an American when he's hating on America. So he can take his music and shove it up his ear. And I have absolutely no interest in watching him in the Super Bowl. And although I don't like the racist comments that have been made, this unfortunately misrepresents my ethnicity. He's not American, and quite frankly, Hispanics are about love. They're not about that nonsense. So I don't talk politics, but apparently Bad Bunny does. And because of that, I always thought Taylor Swift was the better choice.
Is he talking politics again?
You know, I'm going to have a conversation with you about that soundbite because that soundbite makes me very angry.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Is that a Frank soundbite or an actual laugh?
Is
That
he
was an-
talking politics?
No, that was my
again?
laugh. That was my laugh.
Oh, because I was like, that's a good
You know
soundbite.
that they don't let me erase it from the system, right?
Good.
Nope.
She's
I'd-
spicy tonight.
I'd create an
Picante.
executive order to not let that happen.
Well, we know how good those work for Mr. Trump. But anyway,
That was good.
I just
so
feel
you
like-
get a whistle for your comment, but I don't get a whistle for mine. All right.
What happened to coladas?
I don't know.
I was wondering when someone was going to call for the first one.
Hey, I need one like
I need
12.
one yesterday.
All right, so I'll get on it.
Well, who's gonna run the board while you do
No,
that?
I'm going to bring everything back here.
Oh gosh, he's gonna do it while he runs the board.
I'm doing everything. I'm like an octopus, bro. You know, like in Men in Black, those people that were the receptionists and they just had like 9 arms. I got the video going on, the audio going on. I got the colada with the other one. I got this, bro.
It's a
Call me,
Swiss Army knife right there.
call me Doc Ock.
Oh, good old Doc Ock.
How about them Blackhawks?
No, you're not talking Blackhawks. I'm not letting you do that.
I just
I'm
got
not letting you do- I'm
notification
not
of one
doing
again.
that.
This one again.
The 1 a.m. hour will be Anthony Milian hosting. The 2 a.m. hour will be Amanda Milian hosting.
Hey, let's double
Favorite
down,
thing.
Pasquale. I'm sure he'd rather talk Bears than Blackhawks.
I'm down to go Bears.
Bear
There, you
down.
see?
Bear down.
You see? Let's go. Bear down, baby.
Tika, the Bears.
Bear down,
The
baby.
Bears.
Oh my
Oh. Oh, we have our first accident of the day. Oh no, the $7 drink. No, I think we're safe on the electronics.
This is live radio, baby.
I don't care about the drink. I'm
I
worried.
think the electronics
I'm
is
very
safe.
much-
worried about the electronics.
These poor kids, there's less kids that can use these tissues for tears because of this.
I'm
Oh,
very much worried
no.
about the electronics.
Hey, are you really?
I am.
How? It's not going to affect anything. It doesn't look like it hit anything. All right, there we go. Now you're good. It was a moment of radio. Amanda shouldn't have a drink on here, is what
I
I'm
didn't
thinking.
jump through a table like you did in the past, but
Bro, you know I got in trouble for that when I jumped over the table.
Did you really?
Not in trouble. He pulled my ear. He says, I would rather you not do that. He goes, they know you have back problems. I would rather you not do that. And I go, did they tell you something? He goes, nah, they just cringed. I'm like, okay.
Crisscross, you have the sweater on.
Yeah, you have it backwards. That's okay. But I've never done it again. I don't know if you know that. Did it get wet?
yeah.
Oh.
He's doing crisscross right here.
My jacket's rally cap. My hat's rally cap. We have tissue paper everywhere.
Right
What
here.
is
How
long have we been on
almost
the
calling
air?
for a break. There's more condensation here. Would you ask?
You know that was just
We're
a
gonna need some more dry paper towels.
that was
here.
just a demonstration for our bezel. That's all
I'm
it
gonna
was.
let
Yeah,
myself
that's
and then-
exactly what it was.
May I have the tissues, please? Don't.
Oh, we gotta
Yeah.
tape it to a
If
wall.
you
We
get
crying already?
stiff-
That was abstract art.
There you go. There's a dry one there. All right. We should be good. Finish drying that. Imagine if we'd have had the logo from Align
I'm
Designs.
telling you. Now I'm gonna go wipe that table down.
Nobody understands me.
Nobody gets it.
It gets it. They had wanted. I don't know if you knew this, Pasquale. They wanted to put this thing in the middle. I actually didn't even really like how it looked, but I was okay with it because I understood the visual nature of it, right? But it takes somebody like Frank to come up with the obvious. I was like, I don't like the way it looks, but if he likes the way it looks, Mr. Alvarez, let's see. Maybe he was later. We have a problem. These kids throw the iPads on this table. This table, this surface is made for.
Oh, they
all
were
this.
gonna put Slam Radio on the table.
On the
or-
table.
Yeah, like a
and then-
vinyl.
But it was like an acrylic.
Yeah.
And what happens? The first iPad that hits it the wrong way is going to crack it, and then you can't fix it. There's nothing you can do. This doesn't crack.
No, it'd be more of a vinyl. It would have been more of a vinyl.
But
on
it
the
still
table.
could have scratched.
100%.
Wall, right?
So yeah, that's acrylic. So I asked the line, and line goes, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. That you have a risk of that happening. I would rather not put it." He actually said, "I would rather not do it because what you're saying is true. I never thought of that." So whatever. It is what it is. We Frank, we have breaking news.
Uh oh. That's not. There you go.
Yeah, we're at 12:57 a.m. form as he hit the whistle first. But the whistle, get ready because I'm going to say something that might be whistle worthy.
Oh boy.
For the first time in a long time, Le Boo Boo Bear
Okay, here we go.
did not score 10 mother bleeping points.
1,290 something games. I think it was 94. I was gonna write it down. I was like, yeah, we got the brag on him.
So that's slightly less than the amount of minutes left in SLAM-A-THON, as you can see.
He ended up having more points than, or sorry, more assist than points.
Yeah, he said 11.
He's become an assist meister lately.
Respect.
Well,
my
because
coach.
he's running his shots kind of dying out. It's breaking up.
1,382 minutes left. Little more than the amount of games LeBron consecutively had 10 points or more in.
That's the goat.
And now the end is near. The world is yours.
They creep-
So's your bank account. Slamradio.org. Use it. I'm telling you. If you're streaming, the QR code's on the top left. That's what Frank says. I can't see the stream here.
Can we get sponsored by Suja? Because I owe Amanda. a-
that was funny. That was funny. That was funny. Still wet everywhere. My poor tissues didn't do the job. Can we get that wet thing out of there?
Yeah.
Get this out of here.
I think he's okay.
My guy's good here.
And then wipe that down so we're not wet anymore. There we go. Slamradio.org will help pay for the Clorox wipes that clean that. Bro, I've been buying Clorox wipes for this place for 7 years, sorry.
Ow, my knee.
That's all I do is buy Clorox wipes. Every time I buy, I go 2 for the house, 2 for Slam Radio. Paper towels, too. Can you guys help me out so I don't have to buy that stuff anymore? Actually, if you can see, we have new arms. For those of you that watch the shows
I
on
love
the
the
station,
updates.
I think he has a man crush on me. Look at this.
I'm telling you that it's gonna
The Lulu
disappear.
hour.
It's a little unhealthy.
This is very funny.
Dude, I think it's so cool. I want one of myself.
You can order one, believe it or not. It's one of one. You are one of one. It says on the back. I'm trying to sign everywhere else.
Oh, it literally says it.
You are one of one. So is Slam Radio. We'll be back.